Hello friends, welcome to Easy Learning with Arnav. So today we are going to study a new chapter in grade 8 NCERT syllabus, that is Combustion and Flame, and it is chapter number 5. So why do we use fuel, or when do we use fuel? We use different kinds of fuel for various purposes at home, in industry, and for running automobiles. These fuels are cow dung, wood, coal, charcoal, petrol, diesel, compressed natural gas, etc. So fuel Fuel is a material that undergoes combustion. Then it is also called as combustible substance. Okay. So see, a fuel is a material or substance that allow combustion. Now what is combustion? Then combustion is a chemical reaction in which heat is released by a material when it reacts with oxygen. So see, here the material is wood. It is a fuel. Okay. And it is undergoing with a reaction with oxygen. Their reaction is creating here heat is being released. It is creating a flame. Okay, heat is being released by the material, so it is called combustion. Okay, so combustion is clear now, I hope so. I am repeating again. It is a chemical reaction in which heat is released by a material when it reacts with oxygen. Okay, and fuel is the substance that undergoes combustion, that allows combustion inside them, that reacts with oxygen to do combustion. Now some example of fuel are petrol, diesel. The fuel may be in solid, liquid or gas state. So fuel can be in these three state, solid, liquid or gas. Okay. Sometimes light is also given off during combustion, either as a flame or as a glow. So see, here it is glowing. So here it is giving light. It is emitting light. Okay. Now, inflammable substances. Those materials which have low ignition temperature and catch fire easily are termed as inflammable substances. So, the substances which have low ignition temperature and catches fire easily, then they are called inflammable substances. Now, what is ignition temperature? It is the minimum temperature at which any material catches fire. So, see, suppose I am just giving you example. Okay, you have a material that catches fire uh, when it reaches 15 degrees Celsius temperature. When it reaches minimum 15 degrees Celsius or above 15 degrees Celsius, then it catches fire. Then its ignition temperature is 15 degrees Celsius. Okay. If the temperature of combustible substance is lower than the ignition temperature, then the substance will not burn. So now I gave you example that a paper's ignition temperature is 15 degrees Celsius. If if the temperature is lower than 15 degrees Celsius, then it will not burn because it has not reached its ignition temperature or above its ignition temperature. Okay. So inflammable substances are the substances that have very low ignition temperature and they can catch fire easily. You can take an example of petrol. Its ignition temperature is very low and it catches fire easily. Even at a very low temperature, it catches fire. You can take example of cooking oil. Cooking oil catching fire when a frying pan is kept for a long time on a burning stove. So, so see, if you keep your food on a pan, then uh, gradually it will start heating up and may reach its ignition temperature and will start burning. Okay, so this is the example. If you want to read this second example, you can read it by pausing the video. I am continuing the chapter. Now, things necessary for combustion to take place. Now, combustion, I already told you, it's a process that in which heat is released by a material when it reacts with oxygen. Okay. Now, three necessary things are fuel or combustible substance, air with presence of oxygen in it that allows fire to occur, temperature above the ignition temperature. So, see, these three are the necessities for the combustion to take place. Okay, now what is fuel? I told you fuel is a material that undergoes combustion and oxygen allows heat, allows fire to occur. Okay, so we need oxygen also and we need temperature above the ignition temperature. The, uh, the temperature of the fuel must be above the ignition temperature to burn. Okay, and it's a fire triangle. It shows that uh, the needs for the combustion to take place: heat, fuel, oxygen, and this creates a reaction. Okay, now measures to control fire. So fire can be harmful sometimes and may create a disaster, and sometimes we need to stop fire. For that, there are fire brigade stations. In case of fire, fire brigade will extinguish the fire by sprinkling the water on the affected areas. So fire brigades extinguish fire by sprinkling the water to reduce the fuel's ignition temperature. Okay, when the temperature will be below its ignition temperature, then it will stop burning. So see here it is also written same. The water will bring down the temperature below its ignition temperature. As a result, fire will stop spreading. Water vapors also surround the combustible material by helping in cutting off the supply of air. So the fire is extinguished. So see, when water is heated, it releases water vapor. It turns into water vapor, and water vapor covers the substances, and the layer of water vapor is added on the material, which cuts off the supply of oxygen. So the fire is extinguished. It is a it is a picture of a fire truck. Okay. Now fire extinguisher. What is fire extinguisher? So water is the most common fire extinguisher. Fire extinguisher means the material or substance that we use for extinguishing fire. Okay. So water is most commonly used as a fire extinguisher, but it is not worked in every case. But it works only on things like wood, paper, etc. However, in case fire is caught on electrical things, then water being good conductor of electricity will destroy those equipment. Even water is not good in case of fire due to oil, petrol, etc. So see, water cannot be used as an extinguisher in terms of electrical things, in fire in electrical things, because water as I already told you in last chapter, chemical effects of electric current, that water is a good conductor of electricity because it has ions. So water cannot be used as a fire extinguisher, otherwise we will also get a electric shock while extinguishing the fire with water. And it can also be not used in oil, fire in oils and petrol, because oil is lighter than water, and it will float on the water, so the fire will not extinguish. For such cases, we use carbon dioxide. It is also known as best extinguisher. It cut off the supply of air and thus brings down the temperature below the ignition temperature. As a result, fire gets extinguished. Moreover, it usually does not damage electrical equipment. So see, carbon dioxide does not support fire. So it is used to cut off the supply of oxygen in the material, and it also brings down the ignition temperature below the ignition temperature, and the fire will be extinguished. So it is mostly used as a fire extinguisher, and it also does not cause any damage to electrical equipment. Now blanket can be also used to stop extinguish the fire, because fire will cut off the supply of oxygen. Now different type of combustion are of two types. See, first is rapid combustion. In this type of combustion, the substance burns rapidly and yield light and heat. So when it is a type of combustion when substance burns quickly, rapidly, and yield light and heat, then it is called rapid combustion. You can see the diagram here. A matchstick is being burned rapidly. The fire is burning. The substance is burning rapidly. Here it is telling the example of the lighter matchstick and a knob of gas. Now spontaneous combustion. In this type of combustion, the substance burns out into flames suddenly without any known reason. Okay, so in this type of combustion, the combustion occurs without any application of heat. Let me tell you with an example. There's a compound that a material that is white phosphorus. It is a powder, and its ignition temperature is below room temperature. Its ignition temperature is around 35 degree. So in summer, if your room temperature is above 35 degree, then it will burst out. So see here it is, the combustion is occurring without any application of heat. It suddenly burst out. Okay, so that's an example of spontaneous combustion. It is telling, the example is telling about fire in forest, like when during summer sometimes forests start burning because that's an example of spontaneous combustion. Many disasters for fire in coal mines result due to this kind of combustion. The heat rays coming from sun or lightning strike might be responsible for this kind of combustion. So see, when during summer or lightning strike, the one substance reaches the temperature above the ignition temperature and will start burning, and rapidly it will the whole forest will burn out. Okay, now flame. When something is burnt, a hot luminous gas emerges out of the substance. The gas is called as flame. So see, let me show you this diagram only. So see, here you can see something glowing. It is like a gas that's looking like orange in color. Okay, so it is a flame. It is hot luminous gas that emerges out of the substance during the release of heat. Okay, flames are the result of substance which vaporizes on burning. Examples include kerosene oil, wax, etc. Okay, so see, when flame are the result, that substance is vaporizing by burning. Okay, this is the example of vaporizing of substance, and its example are kerosene oil, wax, etc., which form flames on burning. uh, like you can see the first diagram here, it's a flame. Okay, it's a flame, it's a gas, you can see it's burning out. It is a flame. Okay, I hope you understood till here. If you understood, then I deserve a like. I hope so you will like. Now flame structure. When flames are observed carefully, one can notice different layers of flame as shown in figure below. Now see, here you can see the diagram of flame. It is flame. Okay, and it has a outer zone that is blue in color, and it cannot be seen by the naked eyes. It is the hottest zone of the flame. Okay, and then second hottest part is middle zone, that is the example of partial combustion. And see, outer zone is a sign of complete combustion. Okay, and middle zone is moderately hot. It is not the hottest part, it is moderately hot, less hotter than outer zone, but still hotter than other zones. Okay, it is a sign of partial combustion. And inner zone is the least hot zone. Okay, it is a least hot zone. And after that, here it is innermost zone of unburnt wax vapors. Okay, when unburnt carbon particles turn into black, they are called, they are the part of innermost zone. So if you want to read this, you can read it by pausing the video. Fuel, I already told you that the substance that undergoes combustion is called a fuel or a combustible substance. Now, fuels example are wood, charcoal, petrol, kerosene, etc. Now, characteristic of good fuel. Now, we we need fuel, but it also must have some good characteristics, so that we can use it. It should be easily available. It should be cheap. It should generate large amount of heat energy. It should not leave any unwanted matter after combustion. So see, what we need in a good fuel. It must be easily available so that we can use it in large amount. It should be cheap, not expensive. It should generate large amount of heat. We need large amount of heat energy, and it should not leave any unwanted matter after combustion. It should not leave any kind of waste after combustion. Now idle fuel, and a good fuel and idle fuel are same. The fuel which satisfies all the characteristic of a good fuel is termed as an ideal fuel. So ideal fuel and good fuel are same. Okay. Probably there is no such ideal fuel present. Till now there is no such ideal fuel present, but in future scientists may find a ideal fuel. Now fuel efficiency. The quantity of heat generated on combustion of 1 kg of fuel is called its calorific value. So see, when we burn a fuel of 1 kg, then then the heat energy generated by that sub fuel is the quantity of that heat energy is called calorific value. Okay, and its unit is kilojoule per kg, and its sign is kj per kg. Calorific value of different fuels. So you can see here there are names of fuels and their calorific values. So you can take screenshot of the, this table if you want to study it. Now, harmful effects of burning fuels. The increasing fuel consumption has harmful effects on the environment. So the humans are rapidly using the resources, and one of the resources is fuel. And it then fuel also has some harmful effects. Now, various air pollutants like unburnt carbon particles released due to partial burning of carbon fuels causes many respiratory disease. Okay, so what was the zone that represented partial combustion? That was middle zone. Okay, when partial combustion occurs, then it releases unburnt carbon particles in air that causes many respiratory disease. The partial burning of some fuel releases carbon monoxide, which is a poisonous gas, and this gas can kill a person if left in a room filled with this gas. Okay, see, uh, I hope so. You have heard about a news that was a person was suffocated in a bathroom while taking a bath because because it they had a gas geyser, and the gas geyser uh, had a partial combustion, and the room was closed. It doesn't had any kind of ventilation, and carbon monoxide was released by the gas geyser, and the person was killed by the gas. Okay, so I am just telling you example that he also died because of carbon monoxide gas. Okay, it is a very harmful gas, and it is released by partial burning of fuels. Now, global warming. Combustion of most fuels increases the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere that has led to increase in average temperature on Earth. So, see, carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas, and it attracts UV rays, which causes average in heat on Earth, and average increase in average temperature on Earth. Okay, so this is called global warming. Now, acid rain. Due to burning of coal and diesel, chemicals like sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide are released into air. The pollutants react with the water vapor present in the air and forms sulfuric and nitric acid. When it rains, these acids are also present. Such kind of rain is also called acid rain. It is very harmful for crops, buildings, and soil. So see, when coal and diesel burn, they release some chemicals like nitrogen dioxide and sulfur dioxide, and these gases react with water vapor present in air and forms acids, sulfuric acid and nitric acid. And when it rains, these acids are also present in those water droplets, and this is called acid rain, and it is very harmful for crops, buildings, and soil. Now, prevention from acid rain. The use of diesel and petrol as fuels in automobiles is being replaced by compressed natural gas (CNG) because CNG produces the harmful products in very small amount. CNG is a cleaner fuel. So see, I already told you there is no idle fuel present on Earth uh, till now, but CNG is cleaner fuel than diesel and petrol because diesel and petrol release sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide, which causes acid rain. Okay, so CNG causes in very low amount. They release harmful products in very low amount than diesel and petrol. So CNG is a cleaner fuel and a better alternative of diesel and petrol. So CNG are used in automobile. So now we have completed this chapter. I hope you understood the topic very well, and I hope a like from you all. If you like this video, please do hit a like, and if you like my content, then do subscribe to my channel. Thank you all for watching this.